Ever wondered how habits shape our lives and define who we are? It's a question that's puzzled many of us, but the answers might be much closer than we think. Welcome to the fascinating world of habits, a world where daily rituals, repeated behaviors, and seemingly unimportant actions are the building blocks of our identities. These habits, whether small or significant, shape our lives in ways we often underestimate. Now, let's introduce you to a book that delves deep into this subject, Atomic Habits, penned by the insightful James Clear. A renowned author and speaker, Clear has dedicated his work to understanding human behavior, productivity, and habit formation. He lays out a simple yet powerful understanding of how habits work and how they can be harnessed for personal and professional growth. Atomic Habits is more than just a book. It's a guide to self-improvement and personal transformation. The central theme of the book is the transformative power of tiny habits. Clear argues that it's not the grand, sweeping changes that shape our lives, but rather the small, consistent actions we take every day. He uses the term atomic in two ways. In one sense, atomic means tiny or small, indicating that even the smallest habits can have a profound impact. In the other sense, atomic refers to a single unit in a larger system, suggesting that habits are part of a larger pattern of behavior. So what does this mean for us? It means that the power to change our lives lies within our daily routines. It's about understanding that each action, no matter how small, is a step towards becoming the person we aspire to be. It's about realizing that progress is not a one-time event, but a series of small, incremental improvements. And as we delve deeper into atomic habits, we'll discover how these small changes can lead to remarkable results. We'll learn how to harness the power of habits, turning them from unconscious patterns into conscious tools for growth and transformation. So, ready to embark on this journey? As we delve into atomic habits, we'll discover how small changes can lead to remarkable results. So, what are the foundational principles of atomic habits? Well, in the first part of James Clear's Atomic Habits, he introduces us to the 4 laws of behavior change. These laws are essentially the building blocks of any habit, good or bad. They're the basic mechanics of how habits work, and crucially, how we can start to change them. First up, we have the cue. This is what triggers our brain to initiate a behavior. It's a bit of information that predicts a reward. Our minds are continuously analyzing our internal and external environment for hints of where rewards are located. Because the cue is the first indication that we're close to a reward, it naturally leads to the craving. The craving is the second law. It's the motivational force behind every habit. Without some level of motivation or desire, without craving a change, we have no reason to act. What you crave is not the habit itself, but the change in state it delivers. You do not crave smoking a cigarette. You crave the feeling of relief it provides. Third, we have the response. This is the actual habit you perform, which can take the form of a thought or an action. Whether a response occurs depends on how motivated you are and how much friction is associated with the behavior. If a particular action requires more physical or mental effort than you are willing to expend, then you won't do it. Your response also depends on your ability. If you can't do it, it won't happen. Finally, the reward. Rewards are the end goal of every habit. The cue is about noticing the reward. The craving is about wanting the reward. The response is about obtaining the reward. We chase rewards because they serve 2 purposes. They satisfy us and they teach us. These 4 laws form the backbone of any habit, and understanding them can be our first step towards building better habits. Now, how can we use these principles to create good habits? In the second part of James Clear's enlightening book, Atomic Habits, the spotlight is on practical strategies for habit formation. The author presents us with a buffet of techniques, but we'll focus on 2 main ones today: habit stacking and environment design. Habit stacking is an interesting concept. It's all about piggybacking on an existing habit to create a new one. Imagine this. Every morning you brew a cup of coffee. That's a habit you've already established. Now let's say you want to cultivate the habit of reading. You could stack this new habit onto your existing coffee brewing routine. So every time you make coffee, you also read a chapter of a book. That's habit stacking. The beauty of habit stacking is that it takes advantage of the neural pathways already established by your existing habits, making it easier for new habits to take hold. It's like adding an extension to a house that's already built, rather than constructing a whole new building. Next, we have environment design. This strategy emphasizes the importance of your surroundings in shaping your behavior. If you want to read more, don't hide your books in a dusty corner of your room. Instead, place them in prominent locations where you'll see them often. The more your environment reminds you of your desired habit, the more likely you are to follow through. Environment design is like your personal GPS system. It helps direct your actions towards your desired destination. It's not about having the willpower to resist temptations, but about designing an environment where those temptations don't exist in the first place. These strategies, habit stacking and environment design, are just a few of the many practical tips James Clear offers in his book. They are small changes, but remember, the magic of good habits lies in their cumulative effect. It's not about a single monumental transformation, but about a series of small, consistent changes. Remember, the secret isn't in making one big change, but in making lots of small ones. But what about those pesky bad habits we all want to get rid of, you might ask? Well, James Clear's Atomic Habits offers some insightful guidance on this too. In the third part of this remarkable book, Clear steers us towards understanding how to break our negative habits. A process he suggests is essentially the inversion of the 4 laws of behavior change. Let's take a moment to revisit these laws. They are making your habit obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Now, to break a bad habit, we simply flip these laws. Make the habit invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. When we talk about making a habit invisible, it's all about reducing exposure. If you want to stop eating junk food, don't keep it in your pantry. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Making a habit unattractive involves reframing your mindset and highlighting the negative aspects of the habit. If you're trying to quit smoking, focus on the health risks and the financial burden it places on you. Making a habit difficult means adding friction. If you want to reduce your screen time, don't keep your phone by your bed. Make it a little harder to reach out and scroll. And finally, making a habit unsatisfying means ensuring there's an immediate negative consequence. If you're trying to stop biting your nails, maybe try a bitter nail polish. That immediate unpleasant taste can help curb the habit. Now let's talk about the 2-minute rule. It's a simple concept. If a new habit takes less than 2 minutes to do, then do it immediately. This rule works because it helps to kickstart the action, making it easier to continue doing the task. The inverse of this rule can also help in breaking bad habits. If it takes more than 2 minutes to start a bad habit, it's likely you'll think twice about it. In conclusion, breaking bad habits is no easy feat. It requires a conscious, concerted effort to reverse our behaviors. But armed with the inversion of the 4 laws and the 2-minute rule, we're well equipped to tackle the challenge. Breaking a bad habit may be challenging, but with the right strategies, it's certainly achievable. Habit change isn't a destination, but a journey. So how do we keep going? In the final part of James Clear's Atomic Habits, we delve into the challenges of habit change and the strategies to sustain momentum. One of the most powerful revelations in the book is the concept of identity-based habits. The idea is simple yet profound. Rather than focusing on the habit itself, we should focus on the identity we want to adopt. For instance, if you want to read more, don't set a goal to read a certain number of books. Instead, aspire to become a reader. By aligning our habits with our desired identity, our actions and our self-perception become one. This alignment makes habit change more natural and sustainable. Another crucial element in the journey of habit change is the role of community. We are social creatures. We influence and are influenced by the people around us. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who embody the habits we aspire to can be a powerful motivator. Whether it's a book club for aspiring readers or a running group for those wanting to improve their fitness, the right community can provide the support and reinforcement we need to keep going. The journey of habit change, as Clear eloquently puts it, is not about overnight success or monumental leaps. It's about small, consistent actions that add up over time. It's about being patient with ourselves and understanding that progress is often slow and non-linear. It's about celebrating small victories and learning from setbacks. Changing habits is a journey of self-improvement, not self-denial. It's about becoming the person you aspire to be. So the next time you find yourself struggling to stick to a new habit, remember these principles. Let your desired identity guide your actions and find a community that supports your journey. Remember, it's the small, consistent actions that lead to big changes. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are worth it. After all, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit.